The congregation itself was pretty much behind this.
None of us had any money.
We're co-signers on the mortgage of the church.
God directed us here, and God will fill it. That's up to Him.
This is the first work day. It was raining. And I remember bringing up my kids and we hacksawed a rebar all day long in the rain. You know, we didn't have chop saws then.
Yeah.
But my kids remember, you know,
Yeah.
being up on the roof,
Uh-huh.
and they still talk about being on the roof,
Yeah, they probably thought that was
picking
pretty
up
exciting.
nails and,
Yep,
and
they helped.
They had their
Absolutely.
little buckets. And,
yeah.
Jack Wood, of course, was the head of the building, the construction of the church, and it
He's
was
a
all
contractor, yeah.
all volunteer help from there on. And Jack had a lot of headaches putting up with all these old farmers and fishmongers and all stuff. But anyway, we usually had a pretty good turnout on Saturday.
Men and women.
Men and women.
And kids.
And kids.
And kids.
Yeah.
But we got there that Saturday and absolutely nobody was there. And we were nailing the floor.
Jack and Burton.
Jack and I were nailing the floor. And he started talking. And he says, "Have you ever really accepted Christ?" Well, I believe, you know that old story.
Yeah.
And I said, "No." He said, "Would you?" And I said, "Yes." So I prayed and accepted Christ right there. Nailed the floor, nailed on the floor.
People who would laugh at you guys as you were building, jeering
Oh,
at the workers who were working on this and laughing at the kids.
the city said it was the wrong place.
Yeah,
We were building too big.
yeah,
You know,
Clackamas County.
yeah.
Clackamas County.
Clackamas County.
The plans weren't all that detailed.
Yeah.
Look at the funny papers before he.
Yeah, well, that's why we needed someone up there on the job to direct it.
Our Dan helped him. Dan was around, he was a early teenage.
Soon learned that you had to have the right drop on that plumbing because I was the one digging the ditch. And they said, about 6 more inches here, Klingbeil.
Had never heard of a water level before. And instead of a transit, I had never seen one before. And all it is you have this clear pipe on the end of a garden hose, and you have a clear pipe on the other end, and you put water in it until it levels. And I remember standing clear up at one end of the church and standing down at the other end and waiting for the water to level up so we knew where to put the top of the foundation.
Oh
Wow.
my goodness.
the Lord told me, besides the tithing, the Lord told me I had to give $2,000 to the church. And so I went, what? Okay, well, so I wrote out a check for $2,000 and gave it to the pastor. And the board had been praying for $2,000 to build the steeple on the church. And so, yeah, that's always stuck with me that, you know, wow, I did listen to the Lord.
You realize that ceiling in the auditorium is 2x4s on edge.
They didn't go up very fast.
No, when you start stacking them, you only go an inch and a half at a time.
Inch and a half every time.
And I remember we could buy wood that had a bad edge on them as long as one edge was nice.
Oh, that's,
Yeah,
I remember.
and
How did you guys see God's hand through the process?
daily.
And everything.
Yeah, and everything, but I think that it was that we were all working together. We were just a family. And,
Everyone stretched and got
Yeah.
it done.
yeah,
The community, there was people in the community that came out and helped
Yes,
too.
yes.
I think of Emil Johnson. Mildred went to church and was very involved in teaching
yeah,
stuff.
but Emma
But
wasn't.
he wasn't. But he was there almost all the time.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Helping
right.
with that church, build it. And
Yeah.
There was actually people in the community that came and worked on that church that didn't even go there.
Yeah.
The original square feet of the church in '69 was 18,000 square feet,
Including the classroom.
including classrooms, everything.
Yeah.
At a cost of $6.65 a square foot.
Goodness.
Whoa.
What did it feel like to have that first service in the new building?
Oh,
Well, it was great because so many friends of all the families that built that that church came, you know, and we almost filled it up,
filled it up,
you
yeah.
know. But 2 or 3 weeks later, when everybody went home, we sat there looking at each other and saying, "What have we built?"
Yeah.
You know, because it was so big.
One of the songs they sang was "Nothing is Impossible." Remember how
Yeah.
that goes? Nothing's impossible.
Yeah.
You put your trust in God.
We knew as we sang, nothing is impossible with God. And I think that all of the steps in those 2 years gave us that faith that God directed us here and God will fill it. That's up to Him. And I know singing Nothing is Impossible, I don't think there was a dry eye in that church. I really don't.
I never ever felt we made a mistake.
I
No.
can't remember of anything of anybody saying, "Boy, I wish we hadn't done this."
No.
Yeah.
Oh
Never.
no,
Never.
no one said
That
that.
was never,
No one brought
regrets.
that up.
never.
The newspaper published this article upon completion of the new building. There are those who said it could never be done. Now that it is an accomplished fact, there are still those who wonder how it was done. A project began in the fall of 1967, culminates in the dedication of the sanctuary building of the Damascus Community Church at 3 p.m. Sunday, October 19th. Pastor Hay is quick to tell those who ask about the many provisions that God made for the construction of the new building. The building in which you now sit was dedicated to the Lord's service on October 19th, 1969. The bulletin you now see is from that very service, and inside is a written testimony to how this church's family built it on faith.
Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and show thee great and mighty things, which thou knowest not. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me?
These two verses form the basis for our inspiration and confidence as, by faith, we set out over a year ago on an impossible venture. The building you now see shall forever stand as a testimony to the greatness of our God, for whom nothing is impossible. The story of the building of this church is a story of faith. It's a story of miracles. It's a story of people who put their faith in God, joined hands, one with the other, and gave themselves sacrificially to the task.
The one thing that still strikes me today is when some of us have went on to do other things and be involved in other churches and help build them up or strengthen them. You can still go back today and feel like you were home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, not
very
only
true.
not only yourself going into the building, but the people that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never,
we always have felt very welcome.
It was an honor to sit among some of those who were involved in this project, to hear their stories of faith in the face of uncertainty and seemingly impossible odds. Their faith and courage to follow God's leading is inspiring. Now, years later, we can see the faithfulness of God to His leading, as this facility has been used for His service for almost half a century. To look up from where we now sit and look at the beams and the ceiling of this sanctuary gives me great appreciation and respect for those who followed God's call to build on faith.